Okay, hey, everybody. Hi. Nothing? All right. So, hi, I'm JJ. I like to have my presentations more like interactive. So if you have questions, either raise your hand or shout or whatever. I'm going to go over the how the Chef ecosystem and the VMware ecosystem comes together. If you want the slides afterwards, I'm more than willing to tweet them out or whatever, however you want to get them to them. It's all public information. But I'll start out with, who am I? Hi, I'm JJ. Again, hi. Hi, nothing? Okay. There we go. Perfect, thank you. That's what I'm looking for. I'm a partner architect at Chef, and that basically means I architect partnerships. I don't actually know what it means. That's the title they gave me. I am the VMware Chef guy. That's what it boils down to. I own every single major integration between Chef and VMware, ranging from the kitchen plugin to the knife plugin to the inspect story, which hopefully this will be interesting to y'all here in a little bit. I was awarded the vExpert this year. I'm actually really proud of it. I put a lot of fucking work into it, and I finally got it. I curse a lot, so I don't even notice me doing it, and if you're offended by that, I'm sorry. My wife tells me I need to tell people this before I start talking, but whatever. And yes, I actually do have the alias vExpert at Chef. I thought that was neat. So, who all knows about Chef? Do you guys want me to go through the marketing stuff, or do you want to see some cool code? Code? All right, cool. So we all know what Chef is. That's great. Marketing stuff, done. Just because I need to make money, we have a product there called Chef Automate. Who knows about Chef Automate? Who actually uses Chef Automate? Nice. Okay. All right, cool. Well, if you don't know, Chef Automate 2 has come out, and it is very easy to get running very quickly. You can actually run it on a Vagrant box inside your laptop now, and you can actually have the whole story. I will demo a little bit of Automate here at the end, after I hopefully show you something that you'll really like and might want to actually buy Automate, which allows me to continue having my job. Because how else does Chef make money? Through Automate. We give you a lot of free tooling, but you know, I need to make money. Oh, hi. So this is a typical workflow. As you can see, we highlight VMware on AWS here. All our integrations do work with VMware on AWS, which is nice. So if you are planning on playing in that ecosystem and you want to do your stuff from on-prem onto the VMware on AWS story, it's the same APIs, the same plugins, you just point it to a different location. That's hopefully what this got across. If it didn't, we can talk afterwards. So this is actually the slide most people like seeing because it actually tells you where all our plugins fit. We have a whole world of plugins, and if you know what you know about Chef, we have a typical knife plugin, we have a typical kitchen plugin, but this is actually where it fits. As you can see, it's a logical diagram, not a physical diagram. I mean, you would never actually have it set up this way, but as you can see, kitchen VRO, we actually have a kitchen driver specifically for VRO that drives different workflows for vRealize Orchestrator. We have Knife vRealize that can talk to both VRO and VRA, which is very useful in a lot of cases. Then we have Kitchen VRA that actually drives just another catalog instance from VRA to be able to say, hey, give me an instance to do the thing. We have some really awesome customers who've done some really cool things with pipelines. I also have, by the time I created this, I have an actual Jenkins file pipeline now that has all these things plugged into it, so you can actually just drop it into your world if you use Jenkins, as another example. So we actually have two Kitchen vCenter drivers, one called Kitchen vCenter, and the other one is called Chef Provisioning Center. Chef Provisioning vSphere. If you're using Chef Provisioning vSphere, I'd really like to know why. It's probably due to a legacy reason. I'm just curious on why you're doing it. Kitchen vCenter has actually been verified against VMware on AWS and also the 6.5 API moving forward. Kitchen vSphere will never support the 6.5 APIs. So you get kind of why you shouldn't be using it now. We have two plugins for vCenter, the Knife vSphere and the Kitchen vCenter. Knife vCenter. Knife vCenter has been verified by VMware to work on AWS, where Knife vSphere, it drives the SOAP APIs. Sean Wahlberg is the main maintainer of it. Chef doesn't maintain that one, but Sean has done some amazing work with it, like legit awesome work. He actually wrote it and supports it, so he never has to log into the web GUI. It does basically everything you would want to do using Knife, and also a lot more. So he never has to log into the Fling story, or for that matter, the HTML5. So if you don't have any Power CLI experience, basically this is a great stepping stone towards that world. It's pretty neat. Also, just a badass. He's on the VMware Code Slack channel, S. Wahlberg. Say hi. If you have a chance, buy him a beer. He's done some awesome work. This is just a very typical kind of overarching diagram of how everything fits together. And Chef actually supports, or I should say I support, because I'm the only one that does this work, Knife vCenter, Kitchen vCenter, and I spend some of my time on Knife vSphere because of the work that Sean's done, and it gives us validation. If you see that bit.ly at the bottom there, and like I said, I'll give you these slides if you want them after the fact too, there's actually much more deeper information about all these integrations, and I've created a slide deck to kind of put it in front of the people you need to. Who knows what VRA is? Who likes VRA? I'm not going to say anything. Who knows what VRO is? Who likes VRO? That's cute. We have 2 example blueprints that actually use Chef on the back end using some extra parameters. So you can bootstrap off of a typical workflow. So if you have a catalog. So if you have a blueprint administrator or blueprint developer, I think they're called, you put these 2 example blueprints in front of them, and you can see how the day 0 to day 2 story works using Chef. You use VRA to bootstrap or ask for a machine, and it can bootstrap into Chef by just doing a couple either PowerShell or bash commands at the end. We actually have a VRO plugin called Chef, but it's not actually owned by Chef. It's owned by VMware. We can get some beers later if you'd like, and we can have a deeper conversation about that story. I have actually seen some customers do some really awesome things with it. It does exactly what you would want if you want to. Hello, there we go. If you want to just do typical knife things inside of your workflow. Is this not working? There we go. I only genuinely suggest people using this only if they are really, really invested inside of the VRO ecosystem. If you already have workflows, then you should be using this. If you don't, or if you want to just kind of do it, we have other stories to make it a little bit more of a delightful experience. As I am at the VMworld conference, I'm talking about this, but doesn't like me. I want the. Okay. How about now? Is this better? Hello. Better? Yes? I'll just talk like this. Okay. So basically I'm trying to do the best for y'all because, you know, it's the best, like, you're the ones who use this. I'm, as long as you're using Chef, that's all that matters to me. Now this is what the reason why I'm here. And Jerry's here. Say hi, Jerry. There you go. We now have rewritten Inspect VMware, which was a incubation project for the Inspect compliance automation application in Power CLI. Arbitrary Power CLI commands into Inspect. Can you use this? Is that better? Hello. How about that? Is that better? Yes, much better. Okay, cool. So we've rewritten Inspect VMware to run Power CLI in arbitrary commands. That means any Power CLI command to verify that the state's in the machine that you expect it to be in, we can now run it. And it's free. So any arbitrary, anything you're looking for. And there's a chance that I might have a demo of a hardening guide here in a minute that you can now run to see if you're running by VMware's hardening guide and have a report back to Automate and or your command line. So that's pretty cool. No? Okay. Yes? Okay. So I want to just kind of touch on some best practices because, well, people always ask me, JJ, what are the best practices with VMware? And the first one I'm going to talk to is never put your Chef client inside of your VMware template. We all love VMware templates because we like cloning. No one actually ever bootstraps. If you do, let's go get some beers, and I'd like to talk about that a little bit deeper. But I know whoever uses VMware, they just clone, get machines. They use Packer to build up the thing if they need to or whatever. Never put your Chef client in your template. Again, do not put your Chef client inside your template. If you are using the typical Chef workflow, you're using Test Kitchen, right? Because you need to test your cookbooks. Unless you have pinned every single version of your cookbooks, your kitchen.yamls to a specific version that you're running inside of your template, you are pulling down the newest version of Chef and installing it inside of your template when you use Test Kitchen. So you already have a massive disparity between the version of Chef on your template and the one you're testing against. That doesn't help anybody. So never put your client inside of the template and let the tools do the job they're supposed to. Use Knife to bootstrap the template, the bootstrap, the clone or whatever, and inject the client that you want inside of it and test that version. I'm not going to say that there's huge breaking changes across the board, but there's just going to be wasted calories having to deal with this. If you want more details or more examples, I have no problem with showing you this, and it's one of those things you've got to pay attention to. So I have some great blog posts out on the Chef blog about using Terraform, Vcenter, and Chef together. So basically you use Terraform to ask Vcenter for X amount of machines, then do the day 1 and day 2 operations using Chef to bootstrap the machine into whatever you need it to be. I also have the Windows examples in there too, and you can easily grow from there. It's very basic work, but it's enough to get you started. It took me personally, and I do this 24/7, it took me about a week and a half to put all these pieces together. And I was like, this isn't right. If I was Joe Blow out in the street trying to do this, I was not going to waste a week of my engineering time to do it. So I'm giving y'all, as the community, something free to start with so it'll work for you later on. I actually have some customers in Argentina, that's right, Argentina, that use this exact same format that I created for them. And they spin up their dev test, or I think they call UAT, infrastructure every single night with a Terraform apply. And if everything passes, they Terraform destroy it in the morning, and it works just great for them. So they actually have that whole environment spin up with these code over and over and over again and make sure it works how they expect it. And obviously the third best practice is inspec. And don't worry, I'm about to get there. So future plans, because everybody likes future plans, and hopefully I'm not going to be doing this much longer and I can show you some code. Obviously we want some profiles demoing and validating ESXi. We might already have that. NSX is going to be our next logical step because NSX, it would be really nice to have continual compliance to make sure that NSX is how you expect it to be. Junior admin X has not accidentally set something up that you didn't want it to be. 6.7 validation for Vcenter. I'll be honest, I haven't done it. It will be done very soon. I don't have 6.7 yet, but I know some customers are using our integrations with 6.7 just fine. I just haven't seen it, so I can't give you the stamp of JJ approval, which everybody wants, right? You want my stamp of approval? There, thank you. Thank you for laughing at my jokes. And then we are working on some reference implementations. Everybody likes reference documents. They want to be able to see how to use this as the most generic story. Turns out that's a lot of work, but we are getting there. Now, if you are taking pictures of these slides, this is actually the slide you want to take a picture of. It has all the bit.lys, all the major links to it. As you can see, it has my contact info at the bottom and also a link to the slides. If you need to put this in front of your boss, or your boss ever needs to know anything, send them to the top link. The link that you all care about is technical information, is the second link, and the other links are a little bit more details. So top link your boss, second link you, third link really deep stuff. And yes, we actually have some OVAs being built now for both Automate and Chef Server. It's in the beta program right now. I really spent a lot of time making these things, and it seems nobody cares, so I don't really talk about them anymore. But if you're interested, I'd love to have that conversation over a beer or two. Okay, who wants to see some fun code? If anything embarrassing pops up on my laptop while this is happening, I already apologize ahead of time. Knowing my look, it's going to happen. Oh, no, don't pay attention to that one. Shit. Hey, Jerry, come here. Hold the mic for me. There you go. Thank you, sir. Okay. So, first thing first. This right here, this link right here, maybe. Wait, come on. Here we go. This is actually a drop-in repo. It has a Vagrant file and everything that you need to get up and going. You can thank Jerry for that, which is everything I'm about to demo, and then I'll demo the next little story. But basically, you can drop this in, see how it looks, see if you like it. What we're going to be doing is running inspect VMware against an ESXi node to validate that SSH is turned off. You know that junior admin that only turns on that SSH and forgets to turn it back off, right? And then 6 months later, you have your audit, and now you're screwed by your auditor because SSH is turned on. So, if you look here, this is the command running against an ESXi host, which is called 43 here, with the password of password because I'm nice and secure. And as you can see, I'm running time in front of it just to kind of show you how long it takes. There we go. So as you can see, this actually just uses Power CLI. It validates against it to see that TSM SSH is set to false. And as you can see, it has got true. That means SSH is turned on. Oh no, stupid little junior admin. You don't like my dancing? Okay. So let's go ahead and say, yes. As you can see, here's 43 right up there, right? Root, password, logging in, still logging in, logging in.
Yay, live demos.
Hey, this is all real. Like, you can totally run this right now. Oh, I should also say, we have a much more in-depth example of this one on the blog that was Chef blog last week. Yes, last week was finally published, so you can read much more detailed information about what's going on and why we did it this way. What the hell? Maybe? Okay, so while that's going, oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? Now, this is one reason why you want to look at Automate soon, because we're actually going to put this inside of Automate. So you can run Automate to see if the hardening guide works. And we're planning on having every single hardening guide that VMware releases done with inspect. So imagine, take that for a second and process that. You can now look from the ESXi level, the hypervisor level, all the way up through the guests to see that you are set to the proper STIG profile, the what other?
CIS benchmarks.
Yes. All in one location. So instead of that every 6 months your auditor tells you, hey, we need to check X, Y, and Z, you can have them have access to Automate, and they can see it right then and there and continually be able to tell if this is what they expect it to be. I mean, do you like spending time going through that Excel spreadsheet? I don't see a single hand in this room. So I'm giving you a way to automate that. So let's just say, I will run that exact same thing here. I'm just running the profile against it. And with, as you can tell, there's some JSON files up here. If you go to the blog, you can actually see how we redirect the output, basically, into Automate. That's all the difference. We are going to have it actually as a way to drive from Automate to do it. Right now, I have to do it from the command line. Oh, look, I'm really not that secure. Okay.
You can also specify the password to JSON file, too. You don't have to put it in the CLI arguments.
Okay. So the last time I did this, and this is going to make a liar out of me, last time I did this, it only took 2 minutes to run the whole hardening guide against one of my ESXi hosts. Imagine your data center. Imagine you're able to run the hardening guide every 2 minutes on every single machine. I don't know about you, but that feels kind of sexy. I mean, that does, right? And there we go. Obviously, I'm not secured, but you can see. And I'm doing the show progress to actually show you that it's working. But you'll see the output here, and actually every single one we've done has the remediation line to tell you where it remediates to. So you actually look inside of the hardening guide, be like, oh, this is how to fix it. We didn't actually put the fixes in it because InSpec is not designed that way. It's designed as a reporter. It's an agentless reporter to tell you you are compliant or not. Chef, on the other hand, that's a different conversation. Chef is the enforcer, InSpec is the reporter. It's just a different side of the same coin. But here you can drive this throughout your whole stack. And InSpec also can do cloud stories also. So you can run InSpec against AWS, InSpec against Azure, InSpec against GCP. So you can do that whole scan too. And once again, be able to see in one location the status of what you expect. This is just not working. Well, believe me that I turn off SSH and it comes back green. How about that? That works, right? Yes, absolutely. There we go. 2 minutes. There we go. So 38 controls, 19 successful. If you actually go through it, we have every single line in there. Once again, this is going to be obviously paid for because I need to make money. But as you can see, like for instance, the security lockout name should not be empty because I want to make sure something's up there. And you'll be able to see all of this also, right? Like lockdown strength, disabled, blah, blah, blah. And because it's inside of Automate and reports back to Automate, you see the same output there. So as you grow this inside of your team, looking for your specific things you're looking for, you'll be able to turn around and say, hey, we now need this remediation. This is the PowerShell that was ran. Let's go ahead and run our PowerShell that's run to do this. Yes, please.
Are there corresponding cookbooks for the remediation that are?
Great question. His question was, is there cookbooks for remediation? No. Mainly because there's so many million different ways to remediate these things. And even if you look at the actual hardening guide from VMware, they give you suggestions, right? I'm putting that in quotes for many, many quotes there. You're going to need to figure out what you need to be done, but there's no reason why you can't run Power CLI from Chef to make those changes if you needed to. But this is, once again, just a reporter to do that. But this is, we have a compliance team based out of Belfast that do all our compliance profiles that are supported, and this will be supported going forward. Soon. Ish. But once again, this one right here, InSpec example, which, by the way, inside of that blog, right here, I actually have a link to that example blog also. This one is the one I was talking about that has more detailed information about what we're doing here, but it goes to the link also where all you got to do is to pull down that repo, do a vagrant up, it installs Power CLI and PowerShell inside of CentOS? No, Ubuntu. Fuck, I don't remember. One of those. It runs in that, and then actually everything's set up in there inside of InSpec, so you can just run it arbitrarily. And if you look, which we haven't actually shown you, here's that SSH control. Who wants to step up here and tell me, or try to tell me what's going on here? Anyone? Nothing? No volunteers. Jerry, what's going on here?
I gotta look at it.
It's literally in front of you.
Oh, I can look. Oh, fine. I can look on the screen. So what it's looking there is it's checking the VM host service, and it's looking for TSM SSH, and the running should equal false. And if that comes back empty, then we know that it is running. I get those two confused.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, it's set to false.
it's set to false. If it comes back as false, then we know that this test it should come back as false. It should not be running. Therefore, the standard out should not be empty.
Yep.
And this interface is something we're working on right now. This is all like brand new hotness. So right now you can run any PowerCLI command from Windows or Linux. You can run this InSpec profile from. But in the future, you'll have more traditional InSpec resources, like something like, I don't know, PowerCLI or TSM SSH should be disabled. Those are things coming in the future. Right now you can just do base PowerCLI because that's what you all know how to do. You do PowerCLI in your day-to-day lives.
Cool. So we are getting real close to the end of time here. Any questions, thoughts? Is this cool? Nobody cares? No. Oh, no. This is all run. This, if you look right here, this is running off of a CentOS box. Yeah.
Yep. With the PWSH binary, because you can do PowerShell on Linux now.
And if you use that example repo that I said, it's basically just do a vagrant up, has everything already set up for you, and then just run it. Yeah. Read the blog post. If you want a little bit more examples, whatever. Yeah, it's right. Just go to the blog. I think it's the most recent blog right now on blog post on Chef, or the second most. So that's all it is. Any other questions?
And we're available for beers all the time.
Yeah.
And if you see us around here, any questions are open.
Yeah. If you want a deeper example of using Automate with it too, but this works 100%. I mean, you even have a little example down here with showing Automate right there. So, trying to make your lives better. That's our job. Thank you.